exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And today we're out here in the wild lands of Glen Esk. And just look at it, today we're dodging all these rainstorms. You can see them around on the surrounding hills. And today I've parked at the side of this little main road. I think the sign said Milton, and it was just on the right after Tarfside. And I was just thinking, there's this amazing monument up on the hilltop here, and I've seen it every time I come up Glen Esk. I've always wanted to come for a walk up here, but this is just like some random route that I'm going to try and climb up the hill towards it. I'm always blown away by the wild landscapes out here, but from what I've seen, I can't actually see where the path leads up to here, so I thought I'll just go on a mission as the crow flies and we'll just see where this ends up, folks. You know what these spontaneous adventures are like. But this, honestly, it just looks like a massive pyramid structure. I think it's kind of like a round shape. It's almost like an upside down funnel, but it's a massive stone construction here on the hill, so it'll be cool to go and see what is all up here. And I'm just hoping I can get all the way up. Potentially, if the rain comes on, like, it might come on heavy, so we might hit exit the hill quite quick, but I'm just going to try and make this adventure possible, folks. I'm just noticing these mad storms behind me, and I'm not sure if we'll get any weather coming this direction. It's just crazy. There's actually not a lot of wind here, which is always a good thing for a video, but this is proper wild heather hill here. Check it out, folks. This land here has an incredible grey bedrock. Just check out those seams through it. It's like a flint seam or quartz seam, and it's just vast. Again, this is one of the points the seam of the rock comes up to the surface. Anyway, I'm not even halfway up. I'm just to the top of the first little hill here, and the view is just incredible all around here. You can just see it's just raining every direction, and I can feel the odd raindrop, so right now we're just dodging that, folks. We're just luckily dodging that. You can see here where the heather's been burnt, and that's what they do for the control of the heather on the hills, and also for the game birds, because they need to eat the seed of the young heather rather than the old, like, overgrown stuff. It gets straggly and rough, so on the hill it's always kept fresh. It regrows like this a couple of years later. Wow, this landscape is just mind-blowing. I'm still just kind of going as the crow flies in a straight line here, and I think I'm not even halfway yet. So I can see on these back hills here that it's still covered in snow, and it looks like it could actually be snowing up there right now. And that's the crazy temperatures we're dealing with on these adventures. Look at this massive white stone here. Yeah, we can see the monument up ahead. It's on the brow of the next hill. Wow, the landscape is breathtaking. I might find a slightly easier route back down. Oh, look at this. Look at the size of this chunk. It's like flint with a high content of quartz, I believe. Look at that, it's massive. Wow, you rarely see a chunk that big. And it's just lying out here. It could have been dispersed from, like, glaciers flowing over the surface here, but also it could have just come from the surrounding area. The geology contains that sort of stuff all around Scotland. Wow, this is incredible. The monument is massive. The closer I get, the more I realise that it's a massive monument. This will be such a cool video. I love recording things that we've never seen before on the channel, and I always think the first time you explore somewhere, you just can't beat that. It's just mad to see what's there, to see what remains from a time in history. And quite often there was monuments and stuff built kind of on the hilltops by estates and that back in the day. Yeah, the rock which is lying around here just looks crazy. Check this out, folks. Probably in the summer this would be a haven for adders. There's a lot of pheasants and stuff running about, and hill birds. There's grouse. That shows you, folks, the grouse are out here. Look at that rock. It's just incredible sometimes the things you see. I need to keep on making my way around the side of here. I'm now crossing the lowest point of this valley. You can see the water's flowing down through this channel. Often an area like this in the summer, you can't even tell that there's like water there because it's so overgrown with grass and stuff like that. Sometimes all you can hear is the trickle of water below your feet on a hill like this. From this point onwards on the walk now, to get to the monument, I just need to keep going straight up this hill. And I'm just weaving between landscapes like this. The heather's knee deep at times. Look at this, folks, I've found a track. The route I'm taking is literally cutting across this track. I've come from this direction and I'm just heading straight up here. The landscape's so wild though, it's just mad trying to walk through this deep heather. It looks like the path goes right up and round the back of the hill, probably up to the monument. At least I know I've got an option now for a secondary route back down. Yeah, just check this out, folks. It's mad, like some of these adventures that I go on, the landscape that I end up going through, it blows my mind. It's just such a mixture of like the heather and the old wild hill grass, and there's like bog grass, just crazy different varieties of plants and shrubs out here. So check this out, folks. The distance I've walked in my car is probably like 3 miles potentially there. And walking on this barren hill environment, it's almost like a post-apocalyptic scene out here. And I'm just trudging my way over the land, just heading in the direction that I need to go. And I'm absolutely gassed walking up this hill. But we've now made it to the hilltop where the ancient monument is. And what a massive, incredible construction this is, folks. Yes, folks, check it out. We've made it to this historic landmark here on the hill. I've seen it so many times from afar. It's been so cool to come and do this video. I've just noticed an old abandoned like farm croft over on that hill as well, which is pretty cool. It's amazing sometimes when you visit one bit of history, you can often find more history that you've never seen before. And the view from up here is so special. This thing's absolutely massive. It must be like 60 foot tall or more. What a massive construction. Think of the labour up here on this hill. It's been a total grind to walk up, but I've just come as the crow flies in a straight line up the hill from my car, and I finally made it. That's what adventures are all about, folks. That's when you see the coolest things. Just check it out. I reckon most days it would be super windy up here, whereas today there's only a slight breeze. No way, check it out. It's got a padlock on it. Look how thick the walls are. It goes right in there, literally like 10 foot thick. That's probably what gives it its strength. And I can see there's been like a window at the opposite side there. There's a square. See, I wonder if it's been like a burial tomb. Maybe that square wasn't a window, but literally there could be a burial behind it. That's maybe how the walls are so thick like that. Wow, look at this old gate here. Glen Esk was a favourite area for Queen Victoria back in the day. She used to love the area in Scotland, and that's how the Queen's Well and stuff's located further up the Glen. But I had been to most of those places and most other abandoned places around here. I just thought it's so cool to come and see this. It's almost like the final mainstream bit of Glen Esk that we had never seen before. Wow, we'll take a walk right around here. Look at these hills in the distance right here. It's just a majestic scene in a place like this. And I often say it's mad or whatever, but it's like when you're standing in the middle of a landscape like this, it's like words can't describe it. It's just mind-blowing when you just look at one particular bit. And the craziness with the colour of the sky and the way the clouds roll over the hilltops. And then all the colour of the hills. It's almost a purpley brown mixed with the green. Because it's winter, it's a light green colour. But yeah, because it's raining just every direction at every other hill. And there's even snow on this hill this side. That's how we've been so lucky today to come and see this. Wow, it is absolutely massive. Yeah, I believe it must be a burial tomb though, because that square that we could see at the opposite side would have literally been here. I just love finding stuff like this and documenting it on the channel. It's crazy to think people all over the world can check this out and see what a little corner of Scotland can look like. That's the direction that I came from today, up the Glen in my car. Quite often I've walked like up Loch Lee and stuff, which is up the other side of this beautiful glen. And over like the course of my videos, the viewers could probably see the difference in a lot of the Scottish glens. Kind of from Glen Clova to Glen Isla, Glen Esk or Glen Shee, they've all got a different character. It's almost like going to a different country sometimes when you go into the different glens. And Glen Esk's got its own character here, and you can see it. It's just mad, vast, rolling hills and just mind-blowing scenes. And then in the middle of it we've got this magnificent monument which has stood the test of time. And what a crazy adventure it's been. I love the ironwork and stuff with the old gate. I wonder if that's original, put in at whatever time this was built. It's maybe for one of the old lairds or ladies who owned kind of some of the property or the land up here over the years. I was having a look to see if I could get some history on this as I walked up, but because of this wild remote location I couldn't get a signal to get the accurate history. But it's cool just to come up here and see what is on display. And it was definitely worth a crazy walk. I can see the whole top section up here of the monument is made of that white stone, like we saw on the way up on the ground. So the whole top is made of that, which gives it a crazy white top. It's a unique architectural design right there. Anyway, let's head on with this adventure, away from this incredible bit of history and on to the next incredible one, wherever I end up going. I'm waiting to see what's over the side of this hill here. Yeah, it's just crazy how high it is. It must be like 60 feet or whatever, I reckon. I'm wanting to just walk over this side and see what I can see. Wow, this must be the track, because I never actually followed the track when I came up here. Somebody's been down here on a mountain bike, I can see. These landscapes would be crazy for mountain biking. The only trouble is cycling up a lot of those steep hills. Wow, when I just turn around and see that, it's just incredible. With the clouds and stuff just rolling behind it, and the colour of the stone up here on the wild hill. It's just mind-boggling. And I love seeing the way the clouds roll between the massive mountains. Almost gives you like an aspect on the size of them and the distance. I can also see over here there's been old crofts and little farms at one time. Now it looks like there's a house which has still been currently lived in, but over to the side it looks like there's been separate crofts in past years. That's what I love about these adventures too, seeing little things like that and imagining the old history of these glens. A lot of Scotland was just landscape like this, and the wee crofters used to clear a bit of land for themselves, and they would build a farm in a place like that with their wee house and their few fields, and they would have some animals, maybe plant some wheat or whatever, tatties, and then that was it. They all had their own little bit of land. And then in the Highland clearances, the English came up and moved all these people out and gave the land to their noblemen. And the people who lived in these places would have had the choice of probably like working for the people, and they would have had to pay taxes to them. Whereas at one time it was their land, their little croft, and they had a little way of life up on these wild hills. And I like imagining stuff like that when I'm exploring. Right folks, that's been a cool adventure to document another bit of history, heading on this wild landscape of Scotland. But I'm going to end it here. So if you want to see what I end up getting into next, tune in for the next one. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.